Lady Mama Janet Kataha Museveni, Your Excellency the Vice President, the Right Honorable Speaker of Parliament, the Right Honorable Deputy Speaker of Parliament, the first National Vice Chairman of the party, Alhaji Moses Chigongo, the Right Honorable Deputy Prime Minister, the first Deputy Prime Minister, our invited guests, we shall be introducing you fully, but for recognition, Your Excellency, we invited comrades from other African revolutionary parties. We have here comrades from Burundi, comrades from Rwanda, from South Africa, Kenya, from South Sudan, from Venezuela, from the Federal Republic of Russia, from China, from Sahrawi Republic, and so on. We shall be recognizing them fully. We've also invited our comrades, political parties in Uganda, under the umbrella of IPOD. I saw the Secretary General of Uganda People's Congress, and I'm sure the other Secretary Generals of other parties are here. Mr. Chairman and members, allow me read the notice of the first meeting of the 4th National Conference of the National Resistance Movement. The notice states that the first meeting of the 4th National Conference of the National Resistance Movement will be held under the theme, Building a Shared Prosperity as we safeguard the future. This notice was issued on the 27th of August, 2025, and speaks of the conference running from the 27th to the 28th of August at Kololo Independent Ceremonial Ground. The notice continues to say, the conference will receive the following for their consideration, which shall also constitute the agenda of the meeting. There will be a keynote address by the national chairman of the party. There will be a presentation of the Right Honorable Secretary General's report. There will be a presentation of names of recommended persons from the National Executive Council who are standing for election to the following positions in the Central Executive Committee of the party. These positions are the National Chairman, the first National Vice Chairman, the second National Vice Chairperson female, the sixth Vice Chairperson representing the regions of Uganda, which are Eastern Region, Central Region, Northern Region, Western Region, Kampala, and Karamoja. On number 4 of the notice, it states there will be campaigns by nominees in item 3, as mentioned above, and there will be subsequent elections. Item 5, the notice states the conference will receive and pass resolutions regarding which persons have been elected to the offices enumerated in agenda item number 4 above. Item 6 of the notice, the conference will receive the names of the persons who have been recommended by the National Executive Committee to be elected as the presidential candidate of NRM for the presidential candidate of NRM in the 2026 presidential election. The conference will receive and pass resolutions regarding which persons have been duly elected as the presidential candidate for NRM in the 2026 presidential elections. And thereafter, the conference will receive an address by the elected 2026 presidential flag bearer, and we shall close the conference through singing of anthems and adjournment. The notice was signed by Yoweri Kaguta Tibahura Museveni, who is the national chairman of the National Resistance Movement. It was signed on the 26th of July, 2025. Your Excellency, allow me to read to the conference the resolution of the National Executive Council, which was held on the 23rd of August, 2025. Your Excellency, with your permission, I request that I read this resolution in two parts. The part that recommends candidates to the conference, I will read at the time when we are handling issues of elections. But nevertheless, I will read the resolutions and forward all these names, and I'll request the NRM Chairman Electoral Commission to come forward as we prepare to put the fundamental questions to the conference. Report, recommendations, and resolutions of the National Executive Council to the National Conference of the National Resistance Movement of its meeting held on the 23rd of August, 2025. Whereas we members of the National Executive Council of the National Resistance Movement, having met in a cordial session at Entebbe on Saturday, the 23rd August, 2023, and whereas we have received the inspiring address of the National Chairperson, reflecting our historical and revolutionary tradition of the struggle, as well as projecting into the future of transformed and united Africa, and having listened attentively to the report of the Secretary General of the relentless organizational journey of the movement, conscious of our duty to members of the movement and the people of Uganda, and keeping in mind the urgency of all the matters discussed and the need to take corrective measures, hereby resolves as follows. Number one, to warmly recommend to the National Delegates Conference the adoption of the inspiring address of the National Chairperson as a strategic visionary document of the movement, reflecting our revolutionary past and a transformed future of a united Africa. Two, to warmly recommend to the National Delegates Conference adoption of the report of the Secretary General as an operational working document of the movement. Number three, to strongly condemn criminality, bribery, and any kind of electoral malpractices, and further to endorse the urgent investigation of reports of the hiding of delegates who are supposed to participate in elections of the conference. Number four, to place on record that we have evaluated candidates for the positions of the NRM Presidential Flag Bearer, National Chairperson, the first national vice chairperson, the second national vice chairperson representing female, vice chairpersons representing the East, Central, North, West, Kampala, Karamoja, and Karamoja region, to recommend to the National Conference the following candidates for elections as the NRM Presidential Flag Bearer, the NRM National Chairperson, the first National Vice Chairperson, second National Vice Chairperson female, Vice Chairpersons representing Eastern Uganda, Central Uganda, Northern Uganda, Western Uganda, Kampala, and Karamoja regions, and the NRM Presidential Flag Bearer as indicated in the list below. NRM oye! Number 1, the National Executive Council strongly recommended His Excellency General Retired Yoweri Kaguta Museveni as an opposed chairperson of the National Resistance Movement. I will invite the chairman, NRM Electoral Commission, to come and put these questions because these are still elective issues. Number 2, the National Executive Council strongly endorsed and recommended His Excellency General Retired Yoweri Kaguta Museveni as the NRM Presidential Flag Bearer for 2026 general election. And in that, he also scored unopposed. Number 3, the National Executive Council recommended the first National Vice Chairperson for the National Resistance Movement Party, who was recommended unopposed. And this was none other than Alhaji Moses Chigongo. Before I move for other positions, I request that the chairman, NRM Electoral Commission, should come and put the questions for the conference to accept this endorsement through a voice voting. Mr. Chairman, you're most welcome.
Thank you very much, the Right Honorable Secretary General. Your Excellency, the President of Uganda and the Chair of the NRM Party, our mother, Mama Janet Museveni, the Minister of Education and Sports, and the Chairperson of Muntungamo District. The NRM Electoral Commission is here to do the final process in the electoral process with regard to the chairman of the NRM party and also the presidential flag bearer of the NRM party. Before I put the question, Your Excellency, and let me say the candidate, His Excellency Yoweri Kaguta Tibuhaburwa Museveni, has successfully passed through the following stages in our electoral process. 1, He expressed interest in person by coming for forms and paying the expression of interest fee of 20 million shillings. 2, he came for nomination for his candidature and he was nominated unopposed for the positions I'm now going to put to the National Conference. We also presented him, among other candidates, to the Central Executive Committee, where he was again endorsed unopposed. We later presented him to the National Executive Council, where he was again endorsed for the 2 positions as unopposed. Now, therefore, the NRM Electoral Commission wants to put the question to the National Delegates Conference for your endorsement. Endorsement will be in the form of accepting, and you stand, shout, and celebrate the way you can. Members of the National Delegates Conference, I have the honor to present to you the person and the candidate Yoweri Kaguta Museveni Tibuhaburwa for your endorsement as chairman of the NRM party. Those in favor, stand up, hands up, say aye. To the contrary, no. I've not heard the echo. Those in favor, stand up and say aye. To the contrary, no. Second, or number 2, on behalf of the NRM Electoral Commission, I now present the candidate Yoweri Kaguta Museveni Tibuhaburwa, who sailed through unopposed for presidential flag bearer for the NRM party to the National Delegate Conference. Those in favor, stand up, say aye. To the contrary, no. The echo, they have not heard. Those in favor, say aye. To the contrary, no. For both positions, the ayes have it. I submit, Your Excellency. The NRM Electoral Commission wants to do the second process. The processes we mentioned for the president and chairman of the party involved the first national vice chairperson of the party. At expression of interest level and at nomination, the candidate for this position, unopposed, was and is Alhaj Moses Chigongo. The commission now presents the same candidate, Alhaj Moses Chigongo, for the position of the first national vice chairperson to the National Delegates Conference for endorsement as an electoral process. And the question is, those in favor, stand up, say aye. To the contrary, no. Aye. For avoidance of doubt, those in favor, say aye. To the contrary, no. Aye. Ladies and gentlemen, the ayes have it, and for those 2 positions, the election has now ended. Thank you, and God bless all of you.
NRM oye! Congratulations, Your Excellency, for attaining these noble positions for the party. We love you so much. We thank you. And we thank Mama Janet for always interceding on behalf of the party and keeping you strong. May God keep protecting you. We equally congratulate the first National Vice Chairperson, Al-Aji Moses Chigongo. Dear delegates, for the other positions, which is item 4 on the recommendation, the position of the second National Vice Chairperson, NEC recommends 2 candidates to the conference. These are 1, the Right Honorable Rebecca Alitwala Kadaga. 2, the Right Honorable Anite Annette Among. For the position of Vice Chairperson Northern, NRM CEC. For the position of Vice Chairperson Northern, NEC recommends 3 candidates. These are Right Honorable Daniel Fred Chidega, 2, Honorable Obua Dennis Amson, 3, Honorable Sam Ingola. For the position of Vice Chairperson Karamoja, the following are recommended to the conference by NEC. 1, Mr. Loki John Baptist. 2, Mr. Achila John Robert Rex. 3, Mr. Johnson Ngorok. And 4, Mr. Loki Abrams. For the position of Vice Chairperson Central, NEC recommends the following. Number 1, Kalisa Kalangwa Moses. 2, Mr. Chezwa Akim. 3, Mr. Sewava Mukasa Joseph Semakula. 4, Honorable Chiwanda Godfrey Nsube. 5, Honorable Cheyune Aruna Kasolo. For the position of Vice Chairperson Kampala, NEC recommends the following. 1, Honorable Katongole Singh. 2, Mr. Salim Sad Uru. 3, Mr. Bukenya Collins Andrew. For Vice Chairperson Eastern, NEC recommends the following names. 1, Ms. Mariam Naigaga. 2, Honorable Mike Mukula. 3, Mr. Eshodo David Calvin. For the position of Chairperson Western Region, NRM CEC. For the position of Chairperson Western Region, NEC recommends the following candidates. Number 1, Mr. Bwenje Leoben Mwanji. 2, Mr. Asimwe Jonat. 3, Mr. Kamugisha Blaze. 4, Mr. Kamuganga Dick Nwamanya. Number 5, Mr. Bioranga Barije Enoch. Number 6, Mr. Atua Innocent. Number 7, Mr. Honorable Mawanda Michael Maranga. And number 8, Honorable Baromusi Chris. This resolution of NEC was passed on the 23rd of August 2025. Mr. Chairman, I beg to move and I request that I hand over the meeting to your chair as you guide us forward. Our dignitaries and invited guests, you're most welcome. We shall introduce you properly and accordingly. Thank you so much.
I now request the first chairperson to make some comments and then invite me.
As the first national vice chairman makes a move forward, I need to thank him so much. He has been our immediate supervisor at the party secretariat. He still holds the historical original methods of work of the NRA. Very punctual, very open-minded, and very frank with his word. Aji, you are most welcome.
Thank you very much. Your Excellency, the President of Uganda, Mama Janet Museveni, the First Lady, the Vice President of Uganda, the Speaker of Parliament and the Deputy Speaker of Parliament, the Right Honourable Prime Minister, all of you, the big people who are here, allow me, Your Excellency, first of all, to congratulate you for having gone through the nomination and all the process you have gone through. Congratulations, Your Excellency. My dear delegates, I'm very, very happy, and I thank you very much for what you have done ever since you came here. Thank you for giving us a chance to continue working for this country. I really thank you very, very much for the support you have given me. And I can assure you, we are not going to let you down. We are going to work very hard to make sure the movement takes over everything. Thank you very much. Your Excellency, today it's your day, and I don't want to waste a lot of time here. I will go straight to the point. I've given a chance to invite you to come and address the delegates. Let me take this opportunity to invite you, Your Excellency, to come and address the delegates.
I thank you so much, Her Excellency, the Vice President, the Right Honorable Speaker of Parliament, all the Vice Chairpersons of the NRM, the Right Honorable Prime Minister, the Secretary General of the NRM, members of CEC, members of NEC, and members of the National Conference. First of all, I thank you for again putting trust in me to be your chairman of the NRM for the period 2026, 2025, 2031. Thank you so much. I also thank you very much for electing me as your flag bearer for the presidential contest. For the presidential contest for the position of President of Uganda for 2026-2031. I congratulate the Honorable Alhaji Moses Chigongo for being elected by you unopposed. Thank you so much. Honorable Moses Chigongo is a senior cadre of the NRM, has worked for the NRM for a very long time, since 1980. Now for these conferences, I have written a speech in a booklet form, which they are going to distribute to you now, of 36 pages. If I try to read it verbatim, you may die here, because it is long. Therefore, I will pick highlights from this booklet here. When I am talking about Uganda, I normally cover more than 1,000 years of this part of the world. Some people make a mistake and talk about Africa as if it did not exist until the Europeans came here to colonize our ancestors. We were here long, long ago. We have been here for 4.5 million years. But I normally speak about the last 1,000 years. However, in this booklet, I start the story at independence, 1962, when Uganda got independence after the British had been here for 68 years. At that time, our society here had been partially annexed to the British colonial system in a small way. And we were known as an economy of the 3 C's and the 3 T's. The 3 C's were cotton, coffee, and copper. And the 3 T's were tobacco, tea, and tourism. With these 6, you had a small enclave economy of money surrounded by a sea of backwardness, of economy with no money. Now, by 1962, this small island economy, this word enclave economy, is what we are using in the 1960s to describe these colonial economies. Now, this enclave economy, by 1961, was covering only 9% of the homesteads, the ones making some money. 91% were people who were okora echida chonka, working only for the stomach. In Luo, they say, teach me each keken. In our other dialects, I may mix it up, but working only for the stomach. And that's where poverty was. Now, in 1971, when Amin came into government, because he didn't know what he was doing, he collapsed the small island of the 3 C's and 3 T's. By the time we got rid of him, 1979, cotton had collapsed, copper had collapsed, tea had collapsed, and so had tourism. It was only tobacco and coffee that were still limping on. That's why the situation of the people was very bad. There were shortages of everything. No soap, no salt, no sugar, no sodas, no beers. Our beer drinkers were drinking beer from Burundi called Primus, and some beer from Congo. There was no beer here. Therefore, what is in this booklet is what the NRM has achieved. When we came in, we knew exactly what to do. And that's why the economy of Uganda has recovered. And as I speak today, we have gone through 5 phases. Phase number 1 was minimum economic recovery, where we brought back some of the C's, we brought back cotton. We brought back coffee was there. We brought back tourism, and we brought back tea. Some of the seeds and the teas came back. But we also defeated magendo, smuggling, chibanda, foreign currency, black market, oksamula, speculation. And we called that the phase of minimum economic recovery. Then phase 2 has been the expansion of the small island. Produce more coffee, produce more tea, more tourism. Copper, we are now bringing it back, and we are going to produce it in a better way. That was the second phase, expansion. Third phase is diversification. In the colonial times, there was incredible blindness or carelessness. We used to be told that cash crops were only coffee, cotton, tea, and cocoa in West Africa. Then we would say, how about bananas? How about maize? How about milk? How about beef? How about cassava? How about fruits? Why are they not cash? And we'll be told, no, those are not cash crops or cash products. They are only for eating at home. But of course, we didn't believe this. You can imagine me from Ntungamo. I used to see in the shops tinned milk from New Zealand being sold in the shops in Ntungamo. And yet I was a milk producer just 2 miles away from the trading center. But my milk, my father's milk, was not being sold in the trading centers. So when we came, we diversified the economy. We said everything that is needed nationally, regionally, internationally is a cash product, provided it is profitable. That's how we have made maize a very big cash crop. Sugar cane is a big cash product. Cassava is becoming a very big cash product. Milk, beef, bananas, fruits, vegetables, all those are cash products. So therefore, the third phase is diversification. The fourth phase is value addition. Because one big loss was to sell raw materials. This shirt I'm putting on, and what one of the shirts you are putting on, are from Ugandan cotton. Certainly mine is. It is produced by fine spinners. When you sell unprocessed, semi-processed cotton, you may get $1 per kilo. But if you convert that kilo into shirts, first of all, 1 kilo will give you 4 shirts. And the total value will be about $15. So when you sell lint cotton, you get only $1, but when you process it to where I am now with the shirt, you get $15. A difference of $14. But also the jobs which are created, the spinning job, the weaving job, the printing job, the tailoring job, all those are lost if you sell raw material cotton. So that is the fourth phase. I don't know whether they can show you some of the factories of value addition, like the one of fine spinners, the ones making textiles or nightie. Show them to us if you have them on the screen. You can see, freeze it there, freeze it there. You can see those factories, they are making cloth. I think those are making jeans, which used to be imported from outside. They are now made here. You can see. This is phase 4, value addition. You can show the shoe factories, if you have them, or the ones done by our youth in the skilling hubs. All those, freeze those shoes. All those are products which we used to import from outside. And yet they are from our raw materials. You can imagine the cattle keepers and goat herders who have got a lot of leather, who are importing shoes from outside, importing furniture from outside, importing those metallic doors from outside. You can see not only the big factories, but even our small young people are doing them now. So that is phase 4 in our recovery and transformation. Phase 5 is the knowledge economy, the economy of the brain and the skills of the hand. And the best example are the vehicles which your people are now making here. The Kira electric vehicles which are being made by your people. Let them show them to you. those buses and the other vehicles are being fabricated by your own people here in Uganda. Now, these are the 5 phases. We have either covered or entered. Now, because of this, the economy has grown in size from $3.9 billion to about $66 billion now by the foreign exchange method. By the PPP method, purchasing power parity method, 188 billion. Exchange rate methods, the economy has expanded 17 times. This is where we are. That's why now we are saying now we need to enter a new phase. And this is what the main point in this booklet. It says time for the qualitative leap forward. Want the economy to change completely, to become from 66 billion to 500 billion in the next few years. We are now a lower middle income country. We are targeting becoming a high middle income country of $500 billion in the next few years. And why do we say this? We say this because much of the 66 billion is raw materials. If we add value to even what we have now, we are going to hit that mark. Because take all our 10 million tons of bananas, they are mainly raw material. Much of the maize is still raw material. The cassava, all those products are mainly being used as raw materials. So therefore, the next phase which you are now supported us to push forward is to make this jump from lower middle income to upper middle income, to move towards becoming a modern society. A modern society means that you depend more on the products of the brain and the skills of the hand rather than the muscles. Instead of using hose, we should shift to using tractors. Instead of our well to collect water, the water should be brought by the pipes, not our girls to be the pipes. Instead of our girls blowing okutura, firewood in the fire, we need to use electricity. And so on, become a modern society. But in order to do that, we need to understand 7 words, which normally confuse people. Word number 1, peace. Edembe. Obusinje. Kuch. This is very important. And we should not allow anybody to disturb our peace. If you see anybody disturbing our peace, please tell him clearly, don't disturb our peace. Even in these elections, which we are having, don't allow people who create friction by doing wrong things. Tell them openly, don't disturb us. We want peace. And peace is based on amazima, on the truth. Ada, NRM has been able to keep peace here for the last 40 years. This may be the first time in the last 600 years when we have had peace in this area continuously for so long. Otherwise, in the pre-colonial times, there was always wars among the tribes, except in the time of the Batwezi, 900 AD to 1400. That's when we had some peace in the whole area. Otherwise, during the time of the kings, we had wars, and during even the time of the British, the area was never pacified. So we have been able to bring peace because of our politics of unity. I am glad your dance group here was able to show that. We don't believe in the politics of identity, we believe in the politics of interest. So that is the one word I want you to have in your mind. Peace. Second word is development. Development means mainly enkulakulana, entunguka, don global, apol in the meaning infrastructure and other common things, other enablers. You can see some of the roads, they can show them there, which have been built from east to west, south to north. And we are going to continue. And even repairing the roads which have started going bad. Show us some of those roads, the new ones. You can see those roads. And we are now working on the railway, electricity, and so on. Now, but the big mistake, which you people need to be careful about, is that you spend most of the time talking about those roads and so on. Yes, those roads are very important. A tarmac road is good. A hospital is good. A school is good. It serves all of us. But at night, you don't sleep on the road. You don't sleep in the hospital. You don't sleep in the school. You go back to your own house. And when you go back to your house, you confront the problems of your house. Poverty, lack of food, lack of jobs. So therefore, we are saying that you people, our Basoga people, summarized it well for us. They said, Akange kasinga akeife. Abasoga bwebakoba. Akange kakira akeife. Mine is better than ours. And the ours is the third word, wealth. Those words, I want you to separate them. Development is ours, wealth is mine. Personal, family, company. Now, many people get confused on this. And the wealth is found in 4 sectors. Commercial agriculture is one of them. Manufacturing is another sector. Services, border, hotels, tourism, music, entertainment. That is another sector. The 4th sector is ICT. So therefore, you the leaders, and I'm glad I'm talking to the new leaders, many of them young people. I want you to be clear about this. If you do that, things will be very easy for the whole country, but even for you as a leader. Obwavu, ugobo obwavu, Chan, Uboro, from the homes. There are a few families, some families which have listened to our message. I'm very much happy with some of the young people, like the boy called Ijara of Serere. You see what he's doing.
Hello. My name is Joseph Jala. I'm the proprietor of Taifa Farm, which is located in Serere in a place called Kakusi, where we are. And in Taifa we have dairy, poultry, and we're also making laundry bar soap. But we also have the value addition aspect of the farm, where we produce yogurt and pack it, tin it for the market. This project started 11 years ago after an inspiration from His Excellency, the President of Uganda, when he had come here and he was teaching people about the 4-acre model. He was having a rally in Soroti. At that time I was working as a taxi driver. I was doing that master business in Soroti. So when I heard this, when I heard he was around, I crossed to go and listen to his story. And he was talking about a 4-acre model, how to improve household income. So when I came back, I was fired because I delayed there and the taxi came through. And the guy said, you go and eat those words that you had. But I had already this land, 2.5 acres, but I also had local chicken here. But after hearing that, I got inspired to put more effort on raising this chicken. So I raised the chicken to the tune of about 100 of them. Then I got a small incubator. That was about 4 eggs. So I used that incubator for multiplying my local chicken farm. Eventually I was having 1,500 local chicken around. I was very famous for local chicken. So but then local chicken were not answering my day-to-day needs. So I decided to translate it to layers. In Taifa Farm we have 10,000 layers, which give me about 310 trays per day. And each tray goes at price of 10,500. So approximately about 3 million shillings a day from the eggs that we get. Of course, it varies depending on the cost of the feeding, but at least a half goes for management, a half goes to our pocket as Taifa. So after selling the layers, that money I invested it on dairy. I started dairy with the 4 cows, but I have multiplied very fast because I'm using AI. I have my own semen bank here.
Now
so I do it.
You can see Ijara used 2.5 acres for poultry and for cows, for dairy. You heard that every day from eggs alone, he earns 3 million shillings gross. Altogether, Ijara earns 1.4 billion shillings gross, and net 608 million net in a year, using 2.5 acres. You have got other people like Nyakana of Ruengaju, near Fort Portal from 1.3 acres. He earns 1 billion gross and 183 million net annually from eggs and milk. Honorable Byamukama of Chikwaya earns 1.3 billion gross and 60 million net from eggs and milk and coffee and so on. There are people like Kizito of Masaka who earn 15 million. There's Basangwa of Kamuli earning some good money. You get people like Kachuro of Bundubujo earning 56 million from cocoa and so on. So there are people who have listened to the message of the NRM and they are doing very well. And when in commercial agriculture, sector 1, we identified 7 activities. Coffee, 1 acre, fruits, 1 acre, dairy, for pasture for dairy, 1 acre, 1 acre for food for the family. Then in the backyard, those pigs and poultry for eggs. And in the wetlands, fish farming. The wetlands are being misused, and we are underutilizing the terrestrial or lukalu. Underutilizing the lukalu and misusing the wetlands. How? By growing the rice in the wetlands, we dry the swamps, but get little money. But by drying the swamps, we deprive the lukalu, the terrestrial. Terrestrial is the word for dry land. Water for irrigation. And yet, if we do fish farming, we shall get more money and we shall bring back water for irrigation. I want them to show you what we are doing in Remoto, you will see.
Amanya gange nzedi kusoka majidu nga nzo mbaka wa president mu kitundu kino. President bwe yansindika wano mu 2020 nasanga nga project yeno eweddewo. Tasike yange yasooka nengamba president ayogera nnyo ku project yeno naye ekiri wansi tekiriwo. Najano nga awona waliwo omuceere. Twatulanga abakulembeze ne tugamba tulina okukyusa ekifo kino. Ekifo kino ekigendera kyakyo nti kitudde ku ekemu. We natula n'abalimi ne bangamba baali bajjamu ensawo mukaaga ez'omuceere. Ensawo mukaaga ez'omuceere mitwalo nga 21 nga weesanga nga eri emiliyoni 1 mu emitwalo 3.
Ndi mulimi w'ebyenyanza. Nali ebiseera ebyasingira owungi nali ndi mulimi wa mutyere omusa naye ng'ekiseera kyemala omwiga omwo nga nimo omukyere kyali kiseera nga kiwanvu era nga n'amaani agenkozesa omwiga omwo gali maani nga mangi nga ntwale abaana bange tufuduukira omwo n'omwami wange yantwala tufuduukira omunyera omwo naye nga tukozesa maani mangi n'obulamuwona nga tumalira mwigo omwo naye nga nefuna gye tufuna mu katono.
So
kubanga
you can see there my project in Remoto near Parisa. I do fish ponds at the edge of the swamp. Then the water comes back in the center of the swamp. When I do that, they earn very good money. My fish ponds in Kabare, Lango, Teso, I have got fish ponds which I have done on the presidential farms. I get about 70 million per acre. You can hear that those people, we are getting 1.7 million from 1 acre. You spoil the swamp, you get little money. Me, I bring back the swamp, I get much more money, 70 million from 1 acre. And then you save water for irrigation, for the dry land. Let's see Dr. Muranga, what she has done in Museveni.
Plantation which you've had, we've already gone beyond 50 tons of per hectare per year. Matoke's only important part is water, but especially in the dry season. So here we are using irrigation, drip irrigation, as you can really see, using water, especially in the dry season. Drip irrigation, the advantage with it is that it sends water where it is required. PBD does not depend on national water. We make our own water, which we pump every day. 90% of the water is used for irrigation, and the other 10% is processed
now
for use.
By irrigating, Dr. Muranga is harvesting 53 tons per hectare of bananas in Museveni, the government farm which I gave her. But the nearby Banyankore, in the same hectare, they harvest 5.3 tons. In other words, Dr. Muranga is harvesting 10 times more. So, with this agriculture, we must go for irrigation. And irrigation means we bring back the wetlands, use the miga, the edge of the swamp, the center comes back, water comes back, and we use it for irrigation. Now there, that's how we had selected the 7 activities. You will see them in the booklet here. Then the second area of wealth are the factories, which you saw there. Big ones and small ones. Then services, then ICT. Then we go to the 4th word, jobs. Jobs, Emirimu. Where do jobs come from? Jobs come from wealth. You create wealth, personal wealth, family wealth, company wealth, government wealth, a parastatal. You produce a product or a good or a service, but you also create jobs. Let's see how some young people have created jobs. Show us Byamukama. Byamukama is a young member of parliament.
District. We are now at our 4-acre demonstration farm. The land we have here is approximately 4 acres. This is a farm we started 2 years back here, 2.5 years back. And on this farm, we have a half acre of pineapple. We have cows for zero grazing. We have 12 of them for zero grazing, 2 which are giving us milk. We have poultry, about 25,000 birds, but only 11,000 are giving us eggs. And we have 1 acre of grass. We have piggery, those are very many. And 1 acre of coffee mixed with banana. Where we are, this is a 4-acre model farm. I did this activity to teach my voters, lead by example, so that my voters can learn what measure the president tells the public. This is an initiative I learned from the president sometime back when he sent me to learn to Kaumu, to Kisozi. I copied what I copied, this is what I came up with. And you will see as we move, or that side, this side, that's my 4-acre model farm. The house as well. I don't sleep here, but if I will sleep here, the house as well is seated on this 4-acre model farm. When you get like the half an acre of pineapple per harvest, we get about 4.5 million. When you get the cows per month, because there are 2 which are giving me milk, each one gives me 12 liters per day, we get about 1.4 per month. Because the breeds which we got at first were not giving good milk. But we have got some cows, which they tell us they are giving about 25 to 30 liters. And we know by the end of this year, they will have produced, and we see. When you look at poultry, out of the 25,000 birds, it's only 11,000 giving me eggs. Others are soon giving me, and I get 302 trays per day minimally, because 11,000 birds are supposed to give me 366 trays, but because of the feeding method of deep litter, I don't get all the eggs. I get 302 trays per day minimally. When you look at the piggery, in a month, I can get about between 150 and 180 piglets, but those I don't sell. I give to my neighbors prayer. When you look at coffee, we haven't started harvesting. But generally coffee here, if you have harvested well, per acre you get between 12 million, 15 million. But now the banana which is in coffee, we're already eating, and per month I may get like 40 bunches, I get some good, but majorly here, what is giving me money? They are the pineapples, the 4.5 million per harvest, and I harvest twice a year. You will see, even as now, there are those which I can harvest for my friends to take. Then the poultry, it gives me 302 trays. That's per day. Then I sell in a month, you can get a net profit of 55 million. Because you get 108 million, but you can't get all that. You have to buy feeds, pay workers, pay electricity. Remain with 55 million net pay. The 1 acre for grass, it is feeding my 6 cows. I'm told by the agriculture people, I even have the balance to add more 2 cows. They tell me 1 acre can feed the 8 cows. Currently, I'm employing 26 people. Previously, I was employing 17.
Now, that's the point I wanted to show. You freeze those workers there. Freeze the workers. You can see those workers. 26 of them who have just got jobs. They had 0 jobs, but when Biamkama woke up to create wealth, in the process he created jobs for those 26 people. Now there's one of our wealth creators called Nyakana. For him he uses 1.3 acres, and he has now created 15 jobs. So you can make a calculation. Uganda has got 40 million acres of arable land. But even if we were to use only 7 million, and we do like Nyakana did, and employ 15 people, we would create 105 million jobs. This is more than the whole population of Uganda, including the refugees. So the issue of jobs starts with the issue of wealth creation. If we don't create wealth, there's no way jobs will come. The government jobs, which people are killing themselves over, are very few. 480,000 jobs for a population of 46 million. But as I speak today, the factories have created more jobs than all the government jobs. In this book, let me see. I'm trying to see where the jobs are. Yes. The commercial agriculture, so on page 26, commercial agriculture, 3.6 million jobs, factories, 1.4 million, services, 5 million already. The government jobs, only 480,000. So therefore, on this issue of jobs, we need to be clear. Now then the fourth area of interest are services. Services not as a wealth, but as a consumer. I am a resident of Uganda. I am a citizen of Uganda. I want security. I want transport. I want health care. There, in the coming phase, I want you to concentrate on some areas. These are on page, I think, 28. And I want you to deal with the services of Wereza, which disturb people. First of all, health care, stealing medicine in the hospitals. That must be fought by you, the leaders. Then, on immunization is doing very well. Where there's a problem is curative, treating, but otherwise immunization is doing very well. Then you have education. We must insist on free education for our children. The good thing, you have got many government schools, 12,000 primary schools, and 1,000 something for government secondary schools. But the problem is that they charge money. When you read here, you will see the point I'm making. Then we have the roads. The roads must be good. The tarmac roads and the Maram roads must be well maintained. You, the leaders, must monitor this, especially the members of parliament. Where do the local governments put the 1.3 billion we give them for maintaining the Maram roads? Then, problem of crime. You should not allow the police to cover up crime. If the police cover up crime, expose them, and we'll get rid of them. We've got a lot of young people who want jobs. If the policemen who are there don't want to work, the ones who want to work are there. We don't have to beg these policemen. They must do their work fully. Then the problem of land grabbing. Fight land grabbers in your area. If you do this, you'll find that people will be very happy with the NRM. Health care, free education, roads, crime, land grabbing, maybe also safe water. These are the ones I would like to emphasize under services. Then the issue of market. If you produce all these products, who will buy them? I'm glad the NRM has invited the fraternal parties from other countries. of Africa. It's good that we understand the issue of market. You cannot succeed in production if somebody doesn't buy what you produce. The way we are standing now, we produce a lot of products. The internal market is not enough. If we do not have the regional market and the international market, we would not manage. So therefore, you need to politically understand the issue of market. And we work with our neighbors in Kenya, Tanzania, Rwanda, Burundi, Congo DRC, South Sudan, Somalia, to fight for the unity of the market so that we create a good atmosphere for our wealth creators. Now, finally, the issue of strategic security. Yes, if we do integration, economic integration, we shall deal with the economy. But how about security? How can we be secure against all threats? Some of the actors in the world are talking of 4-dimensional superiority, that they want to be superior on land, be superior in the air, be superior at sea, be superior in space. On the moon, some people are on the moon, while we Africans, we are just here. They are looking at. The question is, even if Uganda becomes a modern country, can it manage send a person to the moon? My answer is no. But that's why our predecessors, Mwalimu Nyerere, Kwame Nkrumah, Kaunda, Sekou Touré, Modibo Keita, Patrice Lumumba, Rui Rwagasore. That's why they were talking of the political federation of East Africa or those of West Africa. So when you read this speech, you will see the arguments for that federation. To engage our fraternal parties and struggle to unite our people politically, in addition to economically, so that we create a unit that can guarantee the future of the black race against all threats. If people are on the moon, we should also go there and see what's happening on the moon. But Uganda cannot do it alone. But East Africa can do it. So the question I normally ask people these days, why is the United States prosperous and nearby Latin America is in a bad situation? And yet Latin America has got more natural resources than USA. I think the answer is in the market. The founders of the United States created a good atmosphere for wealth creators to produce wealth and sell. In Latin America, the market is fragmented. I think this is their problem. That's why it is not easy to succeed business-wise in Latin America. So the question I ask you, Africans, is what are you building here in Africa? Are you building a United States of Africa in Africa or a Latin America in Africa? If your answer is you are building a Latin America, then history will condemn us. Now, finally, I congratulate all of you, because many of you have been elected fresh. And many of you are young people. I saw the ones, when I was up country, I saw the young ones who are being elected. I congratulate you. But I want to give you advice. The leaders who kuchenura This is a Nyankore word which means solving the problems of the people which are solvable. The people will love you. But when you kuchenura, don't try to carry people on your head. Tewetika abantu. Kyetaaga okukulembera abantu si kubeetika. Don't carry the population under you on your head. Lead them. Show them what to do using government resources, not your own money. This is where corruption is coming from. People are looking for money to use in politics because they want to be the one to fund their followers. Don't fund. Show them the way to use PDM, to use Myoga, so that they get out of poverty. And fight corruption. Fight the ones who are stealing the money of Myoga. Fight the ones who are stealing the PDM. The people will love you. So with these few words, I open the national conference. Thank you so much.
NRM Museveni. Yes, mzee wa kazi. Tubonga nawe mzee wa kazi. Mzee achali mboko. Museveni, President of the Republic of Uganda, the Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces, the leader of our revolution, and our brand new flag bearer for President of the Republic of Uganda 2026 and beyond. Your Excellency, we want to thank you so much for the wisdom. NRM Mumulabye mzee achali mboko.
Mzee achali mboko.
Your Excellency, we want to thank you so much for the wisdom you have imparted in us, for the clarity of purpose, the depth of insight that has provided both guidance and inspiration as we move towards protecting the gains and taking a leap into the high middle income status. Your Excellency, I just want to inform the members that what is coming next is the Secretary General giving us his official report, but also after that, we are not going to break off for lunch. The Secretary General will be handing over to Dr. Tango Doi, who will now take the process of elections as members will be going one by one to have their lunch. We are going to have a working lunch. Your Excellency, allow me now invite the Secretary General, Right Honorable Richard Todwong.
Some music.
And as he comes, Your Excellency, we want to thank you for empowering us. We have always had accreditation of the national conference ending at 5 a.m. But I want to assure you, sir, that under his leadership and the entire secretariat and the organizing committee, yesterday by 7 p.m., we were done with accreditation. So we want to thank him so much. We want to thank the Treasury for expediting the process, and we want to thank the organizing committee and all the members of the National Delegates Conference. Right Honorable Richard Todong is accompanied by the Secretary Generals of other political parties in Uganda. You are most welcome, Right Honorable SG.
NRM oye! Thank you, Your Excellency, the President, members of the party. Today we have visitors that allow me to have the permission to introduce them. I will start with our visitors in Uganda under the Inter-Party Coalition for Dialogue. We've started talking to each other. We realize that Uganda is so beautiful and peaceful and accommodative to everybody. We are not enemies, but we are friends in a way that we cooperate for the future of this country. I have my colleagues, Secretary Generals under IPOD, that I request that you allow them mention their names and their political parties. Thank you so much.
UPC! UPC! I know you are NRM, but I'm UPC. I have to greet you in our usual language, the way we greet each other. So you just greet me like this, UPC! Thank you very much. I bring apologies from my colleagues, especially the FDC Secretary General, Honorable Nathan Nandala Mafabi, who is organizing his function, the welcome home in Mbale. But Honorable Siranda Gerard Blacks is around. If the protocol could allow him, he's seated somewhere there, he could come and greet people, he's also around. I am Fred Bill, the Secretary General of UPC. I have read your speech, Mr. President. I think we all share what you've done, what you've talked about in your speech. That is fighting poverty, ignorance, and disease. So we share this mission. Thank you very much.